Good morning, sports fans. Big Al here on this Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. And as promised, we are about to take a look at what happened in the world of sports on Monday and then go into tonight's schedule. In Major League Baseball, the NFL, or rather the NBA playoffs, as well as the Stanley Cup playoffs. So we're going to start off with the baseball scoreboard from last night, where the Colorado Rockies pitched a 6-0 shutout win over the Cleveland Guardians. Goldberg gets his first win of the season for Colorado. He's now 1-4. Quantrill takes the loss for Cleveland. His record drops to 1-2. Orioles edged out the Red Sox 5-4. Kramer gets the win. He's 2-0. The loss goes to Chris Sale, 1-2. Kano gets his first save for Baltimore. It was the Reds, 7-6 winners over the Rangers. Diaz gets the win. He's 1-1. Leclerc takes the loss for Texas. He's 0-1. The Tampa Bay Rays become the first 20-game winner in baseball as they take down the Astros 8-3. Bradley gets his third win of the season against no losses. Urquidy takes the loss for Houston. He's 1-2. Blue Jays took down the White Sox 5-2. Bassett wins, 3-2 is his record. Lance Lynn now 0-3 for the Southsiders. Romano gets his 8th save of the year for Toronto. Braves destroy the Marlins 11-0. Strider gets the win. He's 3-0. Cabrera takes the loss, dropping his record to 1-2. Tigers double up the Brewers 4-2. Boyd gets his first win of the season. He's now 1-1. Rhea takes the loss for Milwaukee. He's 0-1. Lang, his second save of the year for Detroit. Twins took down the Yankees 6-1. Sonny Gray is now 3-0 on the season as he wins again. Brito takes the loss for New York, drops his record to 2-2. The A's outlasted the Angels 11-10 in 10 innings. Aller gets the win for Oakland. He's now 1-0 on the season. Beria takes the loss for the Halos, drops his record to 1-1. Jurius Familia with his second save for the Oakland Athletics. Diamondbacks edged out the Royals 5-4. Andrew Chafin wins for Arizona. He's 2-0. Chapman takes the loss for Kansas City, 0-1. And it was the Giants shutting out the Cardinals 4-0. Cobb, the winner for San Francisco. He's 1-1. Montgomery takes the loss for St. Louis. He is 2-3. On to the NBA playoffs, where the Miami Heat took out the Milwaukee Bucks once again. They won 119-114. As they got 36 points from Brook Lopez. Did the Bucks. Meanwhile, the Heat got 56 from Jimmy Butler as Miami goes up 3-1 in that best-of-7 series. So the top seed in the East is in trouble right now. As are the number 2 seed in the West, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. They fell in overtime to the Lakers 117-111. Reeves had 23 points for LA. Bain 36 points for Memphis in the loss. Now to the quartet of Game 4s in the Stanley Cup playoffs from Monday night. The New Jersey Devils even up their series with the Rangers with a 3-1 win. Both teams with 23 shots on goal. The Tampa Bay Lightning now on the verge of elimination after falling 5-4 to the Maple Leafs in overtime. 37 shots on goal for Toronto, 31 for Tampa Bay. The Golden Knights go up 3-1 against the Jets, winning in Winnipeg last night, 4-2. 30 shots on goal for Vegas and 26 for Winnipeg. And we had another overtime game. The Seattle Kraken defeat the Colorado Avalanche in the extra frame, 3-2. How about 43 shots on goal for the Seattle Kraken versus just 22 for Colorado? All right, so that's a recap of Monday. Let's take a look at what's on tap tonight in the world of sports. All right, first game tonight is at 6:10 Eastern time. It's the Colorado Rockies, 7-17 on the season, at the Cleveland Guardians, 11-12. Feltner is the projected starter for the Rockies, 1-2 record on the season. He'll go up against Battenfield for Cleveland, 0-1. You have a couple games starting at 6:35 Eastern time. The Red Sox and Orioles continue their series in Baltimore. It's Corey Kluber on the hill for Boston. So he'll try to get his first win of the season coming into this one, 0-4. Bradish is the projected starter for Baltimore. He's 1-0. That game goes at 6:35 Eastern time, as do the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, that team who has the best record in the National League as of right now at 16-7. Thor is on the mound for the LA Dodgers. Noah Syndergaard searching for his first one of the season. He's 0-3 for LA. Oviedo takes the start for Pittsburgh. He's 2-1. That game goes at 6:35 Eastern time. And then we have 3 games starting at 6:40 Eastern time, beginning with the Texas Rangers at the Cincinnati Reds. That's Perez for Texas and Weaver for Cincinnati. Perez is 3-1 on the season. Perez is 3-1 on the season. Weaver is 0-1. Then you've got the Seattle Mariners at the Philadelphia Phillies as they begin an interleague set at Citizens Bank Park. Gilbert is the starter for Seattle. He's 1-1. Falter is the starter for Philadelphia, 0-3. And also at 6:40 Eastern time, you have the Houston Astros at the Tampa Bay Rays. Garcia will start for Houston. He's 1-2. He'll go up against Rasmussen for Tampa Bay. He's 3-1. And those 3 games, as I said, begin at 6:40 Eastern time. About a half hour later at 7:07 Eastern time, it's the Chicago White Sox at the Toronto Blue Jays. Mike Clevinger gets the start for Chicago. He's 2-1. He goes up against Jose Berrios of the Toronto Blue Jays, sitting with a 1-3 record. That game is at 7:07 Eastern time. 3 minutes later at 7:10 Eastern time, it's the Washington Nationals at the New York Mets. Gray versus Butto. Gray is 0-4. He's the starter for Washington. Butto has no record for the Mets. 10 minutes after that at 7:20 Eastern time, it's the Miami Marlins at the Atlanta Braves. Hoeing gets the start for Miami, no record. He goes up against Charlie Morton, 2-2 for Atlanta. And then you've got 3 games starting at 7:40 Eastern time. The San Diego Padres at the Chicago Cubs. Blake Snell is on the hill for San Diego. He's 0-3, so he's searching for his first one of the year. Steele is 3-0 for the Cubs. He will be starting for the Northsiders tonight. Then it's the Detroit Tigers at the Milwaukee Brewers. Spencer Turnbull gets the start for the visitors at 1-3 on the season. Lauer is the projected starter for Milwaukee, 3-1. And then you have the New York Yankees at the Minnesota Twins. It's Cortez for New York, 3-0 on the season, versus Ryan for Minnesota, 4-0 on the season. Those 3 games, the Padres at the Cubs, Tigers at the Brewers, and the Yankees and Twins all start at 7:40 Eastern Time. And that brings us to our West Coast games, starting off with the Oakland A's at the Los Angeles Angels at 9:38 Eastern Time. It's Miller for Oakland. He's the projected starter for the A's, going up against Canning for the LA Angels. Neither starting pitcher has a record. 2 minutes later at 9:40 Eastern Time, it's the Kansas City Royals at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Singer is the starter for KC. He's 1-2. He's going up against Nelson for Arizona, 1-0. Final game of the night is at 9:45 Eastern Time. That's the St. Louis Cardinals at the San Francisco Giants. Woodford is the projected starter for St. Louis. He's 1-2 on the season. Rabia is the projected starter for the San Francisco Giants. He's 1-0. That game goes at 9:45 Eastern Time. Okay, jumping over to the NBA playoffs, where 3 teams potentially can punch their ticket into the second round of the playoffs with wins tonight. Starting off with the Boston Celtics. They're up 3-1 on the Atlanta Hawks as the series shifts back to the TD Garden in Boston for game number 5. Tip is at 7:30 Eastern Time, and that game will be nationally televised on TNT. Then an hour and a half after that at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, it's game 5 between the Minnesota Timberwolves facing elimination against the Denver Nuggets, as Denver has a 3-1 series lead. This game will be televised on NBA TV at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The final game of the night is the Los Angeles Clippers and the Phoenix Suns in game 5 of their Western Conference opening round series, in which Phoenix has a 3-1 lead. That game tips at 10 p.m. Eastern Time and will be nationally televised on TNT. All right, on to the Stanley Cup playoffs, where you have a trio of game 5s. Starting off, the New York Islanders facing elimination tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes. They're playing this game in Raleigh. This is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and will be televised on ESPN. Carolina presently leads the series 3-1. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the Minnesota Wild and the Dallas Stars. This series is all knotted up 2 games apiece. So it's pretty much a best 2 out of 3 from this point on. So whoever wins 2 of the next 3 advances. Same deal with the Los Angeles Kings and Edmonton Oilers, as that series shifts back to Edmonton. Face-off is tonight at 9:30 Eastern, and that game will be televised on ESPN and in Canada on CBC. And this series, as I said, is also tied up 2 games apiece. All right, so that is your Monday recap and a look ahead to Tuesday's schedule in the world of sports. And I will be back here tomorrow as we will recap tonight's action and take a look at what's on tap for Wednesday. So join me for that. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching. And yep, peace out.